Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. Brian, Mr. Smith Kitchen, as always. And first, I want to apologize for not putting anything out last week. We all have just had one hell of a summer cold that wiped us out for a couple of days, put us behind, and I didn't get a chance to make any videos. I didn't even, I was knee deep in cupcakes for a minute. And yeah, because I had orders I still had to fill. You know, there's no rest for the wicked. So where I kind of took it easy for a day or two, it was nothing but cupcakes after that. You know, when I knew I was good enough to make them. But anyhow, moving forward. This week we're gonna do something quick and fast. We're going to do. I was thinking to myself about loose meat sandwiches. Now, if you don't know what loose meat sandwiches are, they'd be like sloppy joes, the sloppy charlies that I made on a video a long time ago that we still eat now. Chicken salad sandwiches, ham salad sandwiches, those are all kind of loose meat sandwiches. But I thought, man, wonder if there's a sloppy chicken, sloppy joe chicken. And there's a handful of recipes for it out there, other than the Ohio shred chicken sandwich, which we've made, that I didn't even know was an Ohio thing, but I like it. But there's one that's it's almost Tex-Mex. It's got all the helpings of Tex-Mex anyhow. So I thought, let's go ahead and make it. Now I ended up making kind of my own recipe, so we'll see how well it works. Based on the fact that I didn't have one thing that I thought I needed, so I am using an alternative, and I swapped out an ingredient. But anyhow, that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you are new to my channel, I hope you enjoy this video and check out some of my other ones, and consider subscribing, and liking and sharing. If you're returning, thank you. We got some more new subscribers that came to the neighborhood, joined the community for some conversation, and welcome. That for sure. I'm glad you decided to hang out with me for a while, and all of us for that matter. We keep this up, we'll be able to live stream cooking, which means I'd have to find something quick. But anyhow, that being all said, let's get down to the counter here, and I can talk while we work. So, hold on for me 1 second, we'll get down to the counter. Alright, we're down here at the counter. Now, this recipe is really, it's quite simple, and it's different. I've never used ground chicken before. But things you'll need is a skillet, a 10-inch, average skillet, 10 to 12-inch skillet. And I'm using cast iron as always. I don't own any other pans other than cast iron, and most, not all, but most of my saucepans are cast iron also. I only have two. One is cast iron and one is aluminum. I stay away from the Teflons and the non-stick chemical stuff as much as possible. I'm not gonna say I don't have any. My stew pots are non-stick, but cast iron. Skillet, I got it warming up, and the other thing you'll need is one medium-sized bowl. My medium-sized bowl is full, so I'm gonna use my large bowl, and so we can mix sauce together. And then, but first thing we need, I'm using 2 pounds of chicken, and it's ground chicken, just like hamburger. And it was kind of cool. I got to use something for the first time ever today. My friend Kristen, who I have known since I was a kid, she's given me quite a few things for the kitchen, and more than I can't thank her enough for the stuff. But she gave me a food grinder for the KitchenAid, and I finally got a chance to use it because I had chicken, but I didn't want to go out and buy ground chicken, so I just ground my own chicken. Talk about easy and efficient. And I haven't done the numbers yet, but I think this might be a little cheaper to do it this way. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop this in the skillet. You want to cook this on a medium heat. You want it to be hot enough that it fries it. Hear how it sizzles? So we're going to put that in there, and then once we get it flattened out here with our hands, which make sure if you use your hands, you wash them. Chicken is bad. It's bad. Yeah, until it's cooked. That's salmonella. But get that in there, and that's gonna cook. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick, or at least give them a good solid rinsing. So I don't see my soap. I use dish soap. Sorry guys, I know I'm in your face. Set that there. And I apologize for being in your mug. All right, so we got that done. Now, so while that is cooking though, we can go ahead and make our sauce. The sauce has just got a handful of ingredients, and oddly enough, you should have most of this in your house. The fact that I didn't have one of them is kind of embarrassing, but I always have Rotel, and for whatever reason, I don't have Rotel. So let me get you on the, here, we'll just bag it up. That'll work too. There we go. So I got my, what should be medium mixing bowl. And let's turn that up a little bit. It's like the fire went out and there's not even a fire. But that's alright. That's what I get for messing with it too early. So anyhow, mixing bowl. Medium mixing bowl. To this medium mixing bowl, I am going to add a half a cup of barbecue sauce. Use whatever barbecue sauce you like. Yeah, I use a cheaper barbecue sauce, and some things are more expensive. Depends on what I'm doing. So half a cup of barbecue sauce, and then here's where I ran into, even on the recipe that I added and subtracted stuff to, I ran into, I didn't have Rotel. So you want to normally use 8 ounces of tomato sauce and then a 10-ounce can of Rotel. I don't have one, so I'm going to use a full 16-ounce can of tomato sauce to make up kind of for the Rotel. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of mustard, as soon as I get a little spatula to clean that out with. 3 tablespoons of, and this is regular yellow mustard. And I thought about, man, I wonder what it'd be like to use like a spicy mustard or a, you know, ground mustard or whatever in place of the regular mustard. I'm really just kind of creating on the fly with a basic recipe. All right, now we'll add 3 tablespoons of, it's Worcestershire sauce. Where's your sister sauce? I'm sorry, 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And then we will add our spice, which will be a half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. We'll throw that in there. Got moisture to it. Stick it to the plate. You know what? It's okay. It still works. It is, I don't know about where you live, but right now it is like 110% humidity outside, and even though it's almost 8 o'clock at night, it is still really hot. It's not Texas hot. It's not South hot. I'm not complaining. Not, you know, by any means when it's something like that. But for Ohio, you throw in that humidity, so it's like being in a swamp. It sticks to you, especially as you get older, which is weird. But we're gonna mix this up now that we got all that in there. All right, we got that mixed up. We'll let that finish cooking, and then all we gotta do is throw some stuff together. So when I come back, we'll throw some stuff together and talk about what we're gonna do after that before we eat it. All right, hold on for me 1 second. Okay, now that our chicken is pretty cooked. I mean, we're good. It's ground. It's no longer pink. So what we're going to do now is I've got about the equivalent of 2 Roma tomatoes, 3 Roma tomatoes if they're small, 1 half a medium onion, and you can use a chili of your choice. But I've got a Hungarian hot pepper in here. That way I got the pepper just like, I mean, that's pretty much what Rotel is. And that's where I remember we added tomato sauce in the sauce because I'm making up for the liquid that would be in the Rotel. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in there, and we're gonna let those cook for about 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, just enough to get the juices flowing out of them, you know, and get everything waked up. All right, right now it's just, you know, cold and fresh, and you know, we need to wake it up and let everybody get to know each other. So I'm gonna let that cook for about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, so we've let these cook for about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, tomatoes are softening up and the juices are flowing out of the chunks, and you know, my onion's soft, not quite translucent. Because we're still gonna let this cook a little bit longer. So I mean, it doesn't cook long. The chili peppers are soft. I can squish them even though they're diced. And my chili peppers were diced, the onions were diced, and so were the tomatoes. So now we're just gonna take our sauce and throw it over top of this. And out of the way there. Grab my mustard spatula. Don't want to lose any of this sauce. I know the sauce smells good. I didn't taste it beforehand. Taste it now though. Not bad. No, not bad. Can't wait to see what it tastes like. I mean, because that's only half of it right there. And it doesn't taste bad though. It's not very. It's kind of bitter, but that's all right. It's got to get in here and play with all this stuff. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to a boil. Then I'll take it down to a simmer, and I'm going to let it go for about 10 minutes. Give everything a real good chance to get to know each other, and it'll help it to reduce down a little bit. There's a little bit of water in there from, well, I'm sure it's chicken stock, but it might be water, depending on where you buy your chicken at. Unless you buy it from a butcher. I was just thinking about that today. It's time to start going back to the butcher. I've gotten lazy, and I know it's expensive, but it's just so much better for you. But anyhow, I digress. About 10 minutes till it cooks down, thickens up a little, everybody gets to know each other, and then then when I come back, we'll try some. All right? I'll see you here in a second. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have a sandwich in my hand, and we're not looking at a picture of the finished dish. Not exactly sure what happened. I had 10 seconds worth of film, and all it was a picture of this wall back here. So we left off with everything mingling, right? And getting to know each other in the pan. All I did was simply, after about 5-10 minutes, let it sit there and cook. I took it off the burner and let it rest for 10 minutes, right? Because we don't want to burn our face. And I put it on a toasted bun. I didn't add anything to it, and we served it with chips, and that was it. And it actually was a really good dish. I'd be curious to try it with the Rotel instead of just the tomatoes, fresh green peppers, or the fresh Hungarian hot wax peppers, just to see what that flavor was like. But all in all, it turned out really good. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know sloppy chicken was a thing, but I knew it was a loose meat gig. So I would definitely give it a try. Either way, with the peppers and the tomatoes, or with a 10-ounce can of Rotel, or a tomato green pepper combo of your choice, or green pepper, tomato and pepper of your choice, whether it be canned or fresh. The only thing I think I would probably even attempt to add to it is maybe, and this would just to make it kind of, pop even more than it does, I would add some Cajun seasoning to it. If you've got a favorite Cajun seasoning you use, we've got 3 or 4 here. I maybe try that with it. I know Chris had sprinkled some of it on hers when she ate it, and she absolutely loved it that way. I, on the other hand, did not put anything on it, and I thought it turned out fine. But I could see where that would work, and she really was insistent that it added a lot more to it. So you might want to give that a try. But anyhow, tomorrow for dessert, we are going to do a what's called a chess pie. It is a southern pie. It's very old. I talk a little bit more about it in the video for tomorrow. I've already made it. And I really I haven't tried it yet at this point, but we did get it together. And it's just a really neat pie. Very basic, very simple. It's old. I mean, the first written recipe for it's 1901, but we'll get into that more tomorrow. So let me know if you do give this the sloppy chicken a try. Just leave me a comment down below or find us on Facebook, like I said earlier, I believe. You know, at the group, you know, it's Mr. Smith's Kitchen, and and let us know what if you did something different, or if you didn't like it, or if you did like it, you know, or leave me a comment down below with the same things, or if you did something different with it, added, took away, whatever. So until then, for tomorrow, for some chess pie, I love you. I love you very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I never take you for granted. You give me one of the most precious things in the world, and that's your time. Tell somebody else you love them, and that you love them very much. And if you make them some of the sloppy chicken, I guarantee they'll go, wow, sloppy chicken, that's different. And they're gonna enjoy it, and it's gonna lead to some good conversation. You know, and you need that. You need a friend, you need conversation. You know, hands down. Everybody needs one. So, till tomorrow for chess pie. I love you. I'll see you then. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.